These are the heaviest Zercher squats in the world. This movement has been a staple in the strength training world for decades now. But why? It looks awkward, it can be painful, and why would you do this when you could just front squat or back squat? The truth is, the Zercher squat is one of the best training methods if you struggle with a certain issue. And later on in the video, we're going to talk about what that issue is and how the Zercher squat can help you with it. My name is Dr. Sean Hiller. I'm a doctor of physical therapy, a certified strength and conditioning specialist. Welcome to the Vulcan vlog. And today we're talking about the Zercher squat, how to do it, how not to do it, when to do it, and why we would do it. All right, guys, so this is how you do a Zercher squat. I've got towels here. You don't have to have towels, you can go without, but I like to have towels for my elbows, and I'm gonna put into the elbow crease to prevent it from just getting so raw. You can use towels. The most common one that I use, honestly, is knee sleeves. We just had towels here with us today. Knee sleeves, elbow sleeves, a t-shirt, anything you have on you will work. Just gonna take the bar, you're gonna put it into the crease of your elbow. A lot of people like to put their hands together to base it. That's fine too. 2 steps and start to squat. You're gonna come down and you're gonna come back up. A lot of people, when they take those 2 steps, they like to stand here, move their feet around, dance around a little bit more. That's just a waste of time and energy. We're gonna squat down. The big thing I want you to notice here is we're not shifting our hips first when we come up, okay? You're gonna just come down, get to the position, and come back up. You shouldn't have a whole lot of torso or chest movement at all. You're also gonna have to have your J-hooks set up a little bit lower if you're taking it from the rack. You can take it from the ground. In fact, it's kind of a theme for people to want to take these from the ground. So you would just deadlift it up, set it onto your knees. From this position, get your elbows under it, and then squat up from there. The one thing I don't like about doing that is it turns the Zercher squat into a Zercher deadlift, which is a different movement. It's trying to achieve a different thing. It's not the same thing. And when you do the Zercher deadlift, you're gonna go more into a dancer lift, or where your hips shoot up prior to your chest. When you're doing the Zercher squat, you're not trying to train that. You're trying to train a controlled core and a controlled torso. So the Zercher squat, other than the placement of the elbows on the bar, and that it's essentially a low bar front squat, is the same mechanics as a squat. We're here, we're braced. The first thing that's gonna move is the hips move back as the knees drive out. We're pinning our feet into the ground for 3 points of contact, which is the heel, the outside of the foot, and the big toe. And then we're gonna drive back up in the same fashion. The hips initiate the entire movement. Hips back, hips forward, driving the knees out, the core is tight the entire time. If you are finding this video helpful, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on an opportunity to enhance what moves you. You're gonna find videos online of people doing a Zercher squat with their hips shooting up before their chest, or it looks like they're worming up. You'll see the hips shoot up and then the chest shoot up afterward. That is a good example of how not to do a Zercher squat. That's not how you want to do it. The Zercher squat is first and foremost a way to train the core and to brace and teach the core to be a powerful bridge to transfer the force that's being produced in the hips through the bridge, through the core, and into the barbell, into our upper body, so we can move the weight a little easier. So you don't want to see the hips moving first, because then we're going to start to ruin our bridge. You can make the argument that there's a time and a place to train the Zercher squat like that with the hips shooting up first, and there totally is. In fact, I would say strongman competitions, guys who are training for strongman competitions, we can show an example here of that might be advantageous, because you're picking up heavy stones, you're picking up things where it's better for the body to shoot the hips up first and then move the object afterward. Just the nature of being a strongman. There might be some other sports you can make some arguments for it, but overall the Zercher squat is designed to train the core to allow that force being produced in the lower body to transfer through the upper body. So you don't want a whole lot of movement in your torso and your core. You want to keep it stacked and controlled. You want to fight the weight the entire time. And by the way, if you are trying to get stronger, if you're working on your squatting, if you're trying to increase your numbers, or maybe even come back from an issue or an injury, a squat program is a great way to do it. We have the Vulcan Hatch Cycle. We have a link in the description for the Vulcan Hatch Cycle. It is a 5-week squat program that you can do, a lot of our clients do, to show that they're improving their numbers, they're getting better. It's tried and true. The Hatch Cycle has been around for decades now, and the people who do the Hatch cycle tend to get stronger. And the way we have our cycle set up is you back squat and front squat twice a week on the same day, and you can see your numbers rise. And also, if you are coming off an injury, or maybe you're just now getting in strength conditioning and you're trying to find a way to get stronger, this is a great way to objectively measure it. While we don't have the Zercher squat built into our Hatch cycle, it's an excellent supplement using the Zercher Squat with the hatch cycle if you're struggling with a particular issue. We're gonna get to that in a second. The Zercher Squat is designed to keep the weight in front of your body and obviously to fight against the weight. That's the purpose of any resistance training, right? To fight against the weight and not let the weight win. So it makes sense that we don't wanna see our hips shoot up in the Zercher Squat because that's a sign that the weight is winning. We want to fight against the weight the entire time. The weight of the Zercher Squat is positioned on the front of our body, which is kind of awkward because this is where we're the weakest. For the majority of people, a low bar back squat, where the bar is low on our traps, is going to be the strongest squat position because we're able to keep further back on our posterior chain while we're doing this squat. Then you would have the high bar, and after that you would have the front squat. The Zercher Squat is the weakest of all of these. It's essentially a low bar front squat, which makes it very difficult. You can keep a very upright chest here, and as such you can keep the knees back a little bit more, but it's gonna be a lot more difficult than a low bar back squat. It's gonna put a lot more force and strain through the lumbar spine and the back in general. It's literally at the worst point for the lumbar spine to stabilize and to fire against. So training the Zercher Squat is an excellent way to strengthen the lower back, strengthen the lumbar spine, particularly when you're having to push weight up. Great way to bulletproof the back, bulletproof the core to fight against anything trying to pull it down. With the Zercher Squat, the barbell is further away from our center of mass. With the low bar back squat, we can position our body to get it directly over the center of mass. Same thing with the high bar and same thing with the front squat. But with the Zercher Squat, this is as close as you can get the bar to your center of mass, so it's still away from it. So you're gonna have to change your positioning. That's another reason why it's so challenging on our back and on our core, is because it's further away from our center of mass. Anytime something's further away, it's gonna be harder. Next time you go to deadlift, instead of having the bar close to you, let the bar be out a few inches and just see how much more difficult that is. It's so harder when you let it out a few more inches. So why train the Zercher Squat? Why spend time doing this when you could front squat or back squat or do something else that seems like it would pertain to your training more, maybe be more sport specific? Why train the Zercher Squat? To train an upright torso, to train a powerful bridge to transfer that force. I keep saying this, your spine, your torso, this is the chassis of your body. It is what you transfer force across. It's like you're driving a car, the car has a chassis. Without a motor, without the wheels, that car does nothing. The chassis just holds it together. If you have a broken chassis though, the car is not gonna go anywhere. Same thing with your core. It's gonna teach your core to be a powerful force transfer. We train it to keep an upright torso, to not allow our body to default over into a flexion position and ultimately let the weight win. So when should you train a Zercher Squat? And this is that mysterious thing we alluded to earlier in the video of, if you struggle with this is why you should train the Zercher Squat. So if you struggle when you're squatting, and when you squat, every time you do, whether it be front squat, back squat, whatever it is, you're trying to come up out of the hole and you do this first and then your chest follows, we call that a dancer squat or a dancer lift. This would be an excellent time to start training the Zercher Squat, because the Zercher is going to teach your body not to shoot the hips up prior to your core. It's gonna teach your body to stabilize and produce force and to fire at the same time, as opposed to shooting the hips up, producing force, and then stabilizing. It's gonna teach you to do both at the same time. So the Zercher Squat is a great way to do it. So if you are into any type of sport, from an Olympic lifter, a snatcher, somebody who's doing a clean and jerk, or maybe you're a linebacker trying to knock somebody out, or maybe you're just trying to have a stronger core and to be more functional and efficient overall, the Zercher is a great lift to do it. And in particular, video yourself when you're squat, video yourself when you're lifting. If you're doing this number a lot with the hips, whether you're deadlifting or squatting, the hips are shooting up before you're able to come up all the way, before your chest rises, then the Zercher would be a great thing for you to train, because it's gonna teach that and move that away. The Zercher Squat really just utilizes a technique that has been in the strength and conditioning world for centuries now, not decades, but centuries, maybe even thousands of years if we take some other things into account. It is one of the most effective methods of training, and we have another video that talks about what this is, how you can use it as a coach, or how you can use it as an athlete yourself and get better using this method. We'll talk about that in the next video that you can click on now. So until then, we'll see you in the next video.